Okay. All right, guys. So, you know me, my topics always end up being tangential, and I want to actually address Jessica and Lindsay, your questions that you had on the same page. But I've been a little fired up over the past few days. It kind of all started last week, and this kind of relates to my topic, but I couldn't really think of a catchy title, so I figured that worked for everything. But it all started last week when Haley was like super excited to go to this concert, and of course, she was excited to tell her friends at school, and her best friend kept saying, "We don't care." And it was like, of course she cares. She's jealous, but she can't just say, "I'm really excited for you," because she's not going. She can't be happy for her. And then I saw like somebody, one of my other friends on social media. I don't know what, like, I just met her on Instagram. I don't know exactly what's going on in her life, but she feels this need to um, let everybody know, like she keeps putting up these posts like, keep pushing me, my comeback's going to be stronger. Like it seems like people are like talking shit about her. I don't know, like maybe because she doesn't have a career or the way she parents. Somebody's criticizing her and she feels the need to publicly tell people, like, I see you. And it's just like, why does she even care, and it's like I wanted to stand on the rooftop of like social media and just tell women, like, stop giving a shit what people think about you. And it's so easy, I think, for me to say that now where I'm at today, and for us, because we constantly work on that self-love. We didn't just wake up one day and we're like, I think I'm great, I love myself, I don't care what you think about me. I mean, there was a time and a place for every little thing someone said about me, I would take it to heart, and I would call them out and be like, so and so said this or did this or looked at me sideways. Am I not good enough? Am I not blah, 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 you know? And you get to a point where you don't care. And not that you don't give zero Fs, but you're just like, that's fine. Because I feel like you go through a phase where you're like, I don't give a shit what you think about me, and you're like defensive about it. And then you feel the need to attack them for not liking you. And then you move on from that. Because that's a gross place to stay too, right? Because you don't need to sit around and be like, well, you're this way and blah, 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 and I'm right, and defend yourself. Like, we can all be different and all still love one another. And I think I'm still definitely coming off of a high from this weekend. If you guys haven't watched my stories, I'm currently obsessed with Panic at the Disco. I didn't even really know who they were before this weekend. I'd heard some of their songs, right? But I went just to support my daughter. But his entire message, his whole show, anytime he speaks in between songs, is all about value and self-worth, and how humans should just love each other, and how you should be so proud of who you are as a human being. He put these hearts with a song lyric. Someone hand wrote on 20,000 paper hearts and had it in the individual chairs. And it was a song lyric from all of his songs. And that one Haley said was, "You're unique all the way down to your blood type," because and it's like, it's so powerful. And I just wish that we could teach personal development and human design and all of this stuff in like kindergarten, because think about what amazing humans we could raise if we started this self-love movement at such a young age. There wouldn't be bullies. There wouldn't be this need to criticize people. Like, we would just constantly walk around like Marley and be like, "You cute though." Like, you just want to lift people up. And it when I circled it back around to coaching, I was just like, I'm never going anywhere. Like, I'm not going to stop. Whether or not I help one person or 500 people, like, the world needs us so much. And yes, we have services to offer people. We have this amazing toolkit with nutrition and fitness, but it is getting those people in Part of Me Project, whether or not they just purchase a free trial or a 3-month BOD membership. It's getting them in that community and getting them surrounded by all of us and lifting them up. Like, you guys don't understand what it means when you go back at the end of the day. And Lindsay is so good about this, and commenting, whether it's just with a GIF or a couple of emojis, and showing love to other people, because not enough people love on people. It's so easy to see hurt people, but we're a very rare group. You know, people don't typically love on each other. And I want to take that energy and that momentum and just encourage you guys to not settle for anything. And I want you all to think about where you are right now in your health journey, because right now we're all on fire, right? Whether you started T20, whether you're rocking it out with, you know, what you doing, insanity, or what are you doing, Jessica?
Max 30.
Max 30.
Max 30. Wherever you are, like, think about that energy and think about how excited you are to get up and you push play at the end of the day, or you know, made a good decision and had whatever over the donut, you know, like, I want you to do that in like every single part of your life. Like, I never want to hear you guys have to say, like, I don't have enough. You know, I'm struggling in my marriage. I'm struggling with friendships. I'm struggling with finances. Like, no, I'm not saying that everything's going to be beautiful and rainbows and unicorns, but I want you guys to believe so much in every aspect of your life that you're willing to do what it takes to put in the work. And I was talking to my coach today before I got on this call, and as I was listening to some of our recordings from last year while I'm trying to upload them to YouTube, I have to listen to them a little bit to understand what the topic is so I can make some good titles so we can easily pull from them. And so many of those messages had the same tone. We can sit down and we can do the task. We can sit down and we can check off a Success Club tracker or a Power Hour or whatever new thing is out. We can do the things, but if you don't do the self-work, none of it is going to matter. And that is why personal development comes before anything else. Your workouts are important, your nutrition is important, but guys, if you're not working on who you are, none of it matters. And I think sometimes we bullshit ourselves and say everything's fine. We say our marriage is fine. We say we're fine in our job. My coach called me out today and she was like, why are you settling? Don't you encourage people to push past mediocrity? I don't know if you guys noticed our new mission statement in PMP when we launched our new cover photo. But we were chatting about what we wanted this community to be about. And it's a community to cultivate confidence and elevate your mindset. And part of that, a huge part of that mission, and we almost put the word mediocrity in our mission statement, is that so often it's easy to just say, it's fine, I'll just have the donut today. It's fine, I'll just skip this workout today. It's fine if I stay in this job that sucks. You know, it's fine if I stay in this marriage. This is just how it's supposed to be. Like, why for a second would we ever feel that we are less than or less deserving than to just go through life with everything being okay? And that leads to that whole plethora of comparison, resentment, judgment, and it just brings down this whole awful, like, avalanche of these yucky feelings, because when you stay in that area of mediocrity and being just okay, you don't believe enough in yourself that you can have the other things. And I'm going to share a personal experience just for a second, because I look at my mom, and I could talk about this forever, but I look at my mom and I look at the fact that she never grew up with a lot. She never knew a real dad. They were poor growing up. My parents were poor when they got married. We were only able to move into this beautiful new house when I was in college because my great-grandmother died and my grandfather was already dead. So my dad got that inheritance and they were able to buy this house. But my mom always, and still to this day, at almost 60 years old, lives in a scarcity mindset. And it breaks my heart because to her, that's an okay way to live. My mom is super religious, and she's like, God will provide. As long as I have a roof over my head and food on the table, everything will be okay. she believes that to an extent, but when I see her, and it breaks my heart that she can't get a haircut because she doesn't believe that spending $20 on a haircut, she's worth that, or she's had the same clothes for 15 years that she feels super frumpy in because she doesn't believe enough in her value and her worth that she can go out and buy herself new clothes. And I can treat her and I can do things for her, but she lives in this scarcity mindset. And I can see this energy joy leak from her every time I see her. Every time I see her, because I'll have a nice outfit on, or I'll have something on, or whatever. And I might not have paid a lot for it, but I value myself enough to get a haircut frequently, get my eyebrows waxed, like, get clothes that make me feel good and confident, because I feel like that's an important thing to do every day. And I see her say, well, give me your hand-me-downs, or, like, I can just see her self-confidence draining out of her, and it's too late in her life for me to fix her. I can keep trying to be the example and be the light, but it breaks my heart that no one encouraged her that she was good enough. No one encouraged her that she's allowed to spend money on herself, that she, is allowed to have nice things. She's allowed to buy, like, she will buy anything for anybody else, but she doesn't believe she's deserving of it. And I see our challengers that come into our challenge groups, and so many of the women that come into our groups have more than likely tried something before. They've tried something, whether they've gone to the gym, whether they've done Weight Watchers, whatever. And they've always chased a number. They've always chased a size. They've always chased, I know those of you that have been on social media for a while, I used to follow a lot of, I don't know if anybody knows who Sarah Bowman is, but she's a very popular Instagrammer who does like CrossFit, and I used to buy her workout plans, which were super cheap, and I could go to the gym and I could do them all day long. But I would sit there and I would look at her pictures and see how cut she was, and it was always this comparison. If I keep doing Sarah's programs, I'll look like Sarah. And what is something that we do in PNP that I've never experienced anywhere else is we constantly remind people to shout themselves out. One of my favorite days of the week, or one of my favorite posts, is when we have women comment something they love about themselves, because it is like frowned upon, it seems, to call yourself out. And it's not, there's nothing wrong with having confidence. We're not being cocky by sitting here being like, I love my legs, I love my butt, I love Amanda's eyebrows. Like, we should be able to compliment ourselves, and you should be able to look in the mirror, whether you're a size 6 or a 16, and be able to look at something about yourself. And I hate to call Miss Allison out, but it broke my heart the other day. I was looking at her Instagram story, and I'm so proud of you for journaling. But there was a section on her journal that was like, write something about yourself. And she was like, why is this section so hard? And I couldn't believe it, because I look at Allison the first time I met her and I was like, oh my God, like, she's so beautiful. And she's like got the perfect clothes and the perfect house and the perfect husband and the perfect backyard. And how could she possibly have low self-esteem, right? Like, we're all the same. Like, we all have those thoughts and those feelings. And just think about how incredible women feel in our environment. And so I don't want you guys to settle. I don't ever want you to settle. And one of the things I was kind of journaling and brainstorming about today is, I know last year, especially like the last 6 months of 2018, we talked a lot about how this business can be very trying. And I know a lot of you have been around for a while, and you've pushed for goals. Maybe you've reached some, maybe you haven't reached others. But even when you become very advanced in this business, that's kind of a weird word, but when you still compare yourself. And so, I would challenge you that if you follow any coaches, and I know I say this all the time, unfollow them, please. And that does not mean that you don't adore them. Like, for a while, because I was struggling so much with the fact that I hadn't reached goals in my business that I saw other coaches doing, I unfollowed every single coach besides Andrea and you guys. Even for a while, even Lindsay was like, you don't follow me. Like I had to go and unfollow everyone because I found myself watching their stories and looking at their pictures. And even though I looked up to them and I was proud of them, it wasn't coming from a place of jealousy or judgment. But if you ever look at a photo or a story and for a second feel less than because of them, it's not their fault. They're encouraging you. Just unfollow them. And maybe 6 months from now, you'll be in a better place and then they can inspire you, right? But do that. Like, get rid of anybody that makes you feel less than. Surround yourself only with people that are going to lift you up. And I think there's a misconception that you should only remove negative people from your life, but that's not the case. I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram story yesterday, but one of the Instagram people that I have followed forever and a day, like I started following her purely because she was sharing her divorce story on social and I was just intrigued. It was like real reality TV, which sounds really shitty, but she was sharing how she was going through a divorce and she started prepping for a bikini competition. And I was just watching how she counted her macros and I was just very curious. And I actually contemplated doing one for a while because I was just so curious to see how she was manipulating her food and able to like cut down her body fat. It was just very intriguing to me. But anyway, she is now like become a pretty popular blogger, but she's not like your typical blogger. She doesn't have perfectly curated pictures. She might use a filter, she might not. You know, you look at her Instagram story and it's not like there's not a lot of strategy behind. It's just she puts what she feels good. And she's so real and raw and I love her, but she had a good point. Bloggers, I know a lot of you that are on Instagram and spend a lot of time, you can come across these beautiful profiles and you're like, well, what Lightroom filter are they using? Or, you know, like I've even played around with Lightroom and I have a ring light now, like a legit ring light, and I still can't get my pictures to look as good as theirs. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, but Brady had a good point. She's like, they make money off of this. Like, they might even use a real camera because they have all day to upload that shit and edit it, or they might have put that outfit on and done their hair and makeup simply for that one photo, and then they went and put their pajamas back on. Like, you can't, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing because that's their job. Like, bless them, I love them, I think they're beautiful and amazing, but if for a second their page is going to make me feel less than, if their house is going to make me feel less than, I can't follow them right now. You know, I can't because I don't have enough energy in my life currently, or maybe ever, to waste even a second comparing myself to someone else. Because I'm never going to have a Joanna Gaines house. As much as my Pinterest dream home board looks like I'm going to, it's probably not going to happen. And it's not for a lack of money or a lack of vision. It's simply because when we buy our new house, I will probably take all of this shit from my house and be like, I'll do it later, like I did with this house. You know, it's just life is going to be that way. But it breaks my heart to think that any of you would ever feel that you're not good enough. And Jessica, I'm going to call you out for a second because I've noticed recently she has been really down, and I sent her a podcast. I haven't even listened to the dang podcast, but I just saw the title of it and I was like, Jessica, I feel like this is for you. But it breaks my heart because I look at Jessica and I think of, the fact that she is so selfless with teaching. I would strangle my kids if I had to teach them. And then she gives so much of her heart and soul to her church and these youth that need her so much, and the impact that you make. Like, you're such a selfless person. And the fact that for a second, almost daily, you don't feel like you're good enough just breaks my heart. Like, I just want to come through this computer and give you a hug and just be like, Jessica St. Clair, like, I don't know what I would do without you in my life. Like, you know, like, we all bring something so beautiful and so unique to the table. And I am just overly grateful for Dynamic Force and for Priority Project. And so my point to all of this is that it is okay to not settle. It is okay to push for more. And I'm struggling currently with pushing for goals because I want to do it with flow. But when I say that out loud, I know that I'm already in a flow. I did all that work last year. I did all that deep work for 6 months where I thought I was going to quit this business. I've done all the work. I don't have to be scared now about pushing for a goal. And I was scared to tell you guys that because I would come in here and I would talk to you guys on Thursdays about how much I hated the word hustle. And I still don't like the word hustle, but I do think that it's okay to push for goals, you know? And I truly believe that that's where the beauty is in this business, because you have the people that are really good hustlers. That's just their game. Like Kate's a hustler. You know, homegirl is going to get up in the morning and she's going to pound out 60 invites before she goes teaches all day long, you know? She's a hustler. I'm a hustler, baby. And I want you to know, is that the right lyric? But I'm not Kate. Because you know what? When I tried to do half of what she did, I wanted to gouge my eyeballs out. I can't do 30 invites a day, okay? But then when I fell into this path last year of like, I'm just gonna do what feels right. You know what feels right? Not doing anything and Netflixing and chilling every single day. That's what feels right. So I did that for a while. I actually took about a 3-week PD hiatus, which was actually really good for my soul. And I've talked about that before because I was constantly downloading. I was just like, this feels so great. This feels so great. This feels so great. But then I wasn't doing anything with it. So I took some time off. I took some time off from everything, from working out. And you know what happened? After about 2 weeks of that, I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, I was like I literally was like bored with my own life. I was like, this is gross. Not only did I feel horrible because I wasn't moving my body, but it wasn't the PD that I missed. I actually didn't necessarily miss the PD, but it was pushing myself to do something else. Like, you know, I would work all day and then I would sit at home every evening and watch TV. And I was just like, after a while, I was like, this is it. This is what my 30s are going to be like, you know, because there's something like innately human about us that wants to like push. You know, if Laura Franklin was here, she'd have the scientific evidence behind it. But I'm sure that there is some kind of like, we want to push. We get that like adrenaline rush of pushing yourselves and succeeding and reaching new goals and like doing fun shit. And that's why it feels so exciting when you have a new customer sign up or you look in your back office and you have surprising SC points. Or, you know, I had a friend from college sign up as a coach the other day and she was a freaking coach already. Somewhere in the past year, she quit and no wants to be on our team. And it was just like so exciting. And so there's nothing wrong with pushing and reaching for goals. So here is my goal for you, my takeaway. So this is what I'm going to start doing, all right? Because yearly goals, a little too much for me. And maybe there's some barriers I need to work through. Maybe I'm scared of making a year goal because if I don't reach it, then I'm disappointed in myself. But who says that there have to be rules to this? Who says that we have to have a year goal or we have to have a 6-month goal or we have to have a 3-month goal? Why can't it just be like, you know what? How easy would it be for me to help one person this week? That would be really fucking fun if I could just help one person this week, right? And then you help the one person, you're like, well, that was fun and easy. Let me go help one more. You know, like I think that that's when the Success Club gets intimidating. Because you start off at the beginning of your month and you're like, I've got to help 3 people. I've got to help 3 people. If I don't help 3 people, I won't reach Success Club. And then, you know, okay, if you don't reach Success Club this month, you'll reach it next month or the month after. Like, why do there have to be rules? You know? And I was explaining Success Club to Becca's new coach. And because she's going through the training right now, and when I said it out loud, she was like, how does Success Club make me money? And I said, Success Club is just an accolade. I said, you're going to make the money whether you help one person or 500 people. I said, Success Club is just a bonus. Success Club is just a shiny little object that Beachbody gives us to praise us. And it's important to help people, but I think that gets so stressful to think about the number, but it's super freaking exciting to reach Success Club, right? So you got to decide if it matters to you. You got to decide if it's a goal you want to push for every month, and you got to decide how you want that to look. If you want to write an affirmation every morning because it means a lot to you to say, it's going to feel really good to reach Success Club 5. Maybe that sounds really sexy to you, you know? Maybe that sounds really exciting. Maybe you've never hit Success Club before and you want to so bad, and it's just like, you know, then go do it. Go do it. All of you guys are completely capable. And all of you guys show up every single day. It's not a lack of consistency, because our entire team, you guys are freaking rock stars. You show up for yourselves every day. You show up on social media. It's piddly stuff that you could tweak to reach your goals. It's spending a little time just thanking people for liking your posts. It's spending a little time throwing out that invite that you know you want to invite somebody to, not because some checklist said to invite 5 people. It's because that person comes up in your DMs or comes up on your story and you get that nudge to invite them. Today, the invite that I shared in the team page, I've known this girl's been doing 2B for a while. She's not a coach. She's just a random girl I met on Instagram. And as soon as I saw her tag 2B Mindset, I could have easily said, oh, hey, did you know I was a coach? It wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. And so we kept talking and just chit-chatting, and she comments on my stories, I comment on hers, blah, 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 blah. Today, when I watched your story, it felt right. And I didn't for a second think about it. I didn't think about what I was going to say. I don't have a sneak peek to invite her to. I simply just said, have you ever thought about coaching? And she was like, yeah, I have. It's just not the right time for me. Okay, moving on. I'm not going to unfollow her. It's not going to change our relationship. I'm still going to talk to her, but it just felt right. And I'm sure you guys have people that you haven't invited. Get the no and get it out of the way so you know that you've done your part, because you wouldn't have that inclination to invite them. You wouldn't have that innate, you know, I talk so much about your intuition. That's the flow, guys. That's the flow. When you're looking at someone and you instantly think they could use PMP. They could use Beachbody On Demand. They could use our energy. They could use our Thursday night team calls. Freaking just ask them. Freaking just ask them. Because I wish that it was as easy. Well, it is that easy, but I wish it flowed where people just came out of the woodworks because we showed up. But the reality is they're scared. The reality is they need you to come out and ask them. You know, for example, how often have you seen someone rave about, I don't know, a skin cream, or rave about, you know, here, I'll use the Sister Studio since I'm obsessed with her. I'm going to give you a prime example. Jennifer Reed, love that chick, love her. I trust her. I want to have a glass of wine with her. I'm obsessed with her. But you know what? If she didn't put that little swipe up in her story so I could go buy this blush hoodie from JCPenney's, do you think I would go to the JCPenney's website and order it? Probably not. I would sit there on her story every day and see her rave about the $11 fleece line blush hoodie, but I would never actually go and purchase it. But when she inserts that swipe up feature, it makes it easy for me to go purchase it. You're damn right I have spent so much money because of her. Now, I know a lot of us don't have that swipe up feature, but it's that call to action. We can talk about what we're doing all day long, but if we're not frequently putting out a call to action, if we're not frequently following up with people, those people are too scared to come out and say anything because then they have to acknowledge that they're ready. Think about how hard it was for you to start. Think about how many stories you've heard of coaches who said no repeatedly. But if you believe in them, you already believe in what we're doing. So why are you scared to ask them? You know what I'm saying? I heard something today. Somebody asked a question, can you be a coach if you don't use the products? And the coach's response was, well, why would you want to be a coach then? And I'm not saying that, you know, there's some times where you can't afford the products. There's sometimes where you don't need to order anything. But I'm saying you can't come and be a coach without ever have tried any of our products. It would be just like me saying, what kind of face wash do you use on your face? Oh, I use Rodent Fields is great. What do you think about it? I don't know. I've never used it. Like, why would you endorse something that you don't believe in? So if you believe in the product, you're using it, you're getting results. Where's the fear behind inviting? You know, where's the fear? And I want you guys to, if the fear is number based, if the fear is I won't reach a goal, then change the way you write the goal. So I don't particularly like to write numbers anymore because I think for so long I felt the need that I had to keep beating my most highest success club. I've been a coach for 4 years. I should be hitting Success Club 50. I should be hitting these stupid, ridiculous numbers. And I was like, why? Who said? I make my own rules. I don't have to follow anybody else's. Like, if I only sign up, if I say I want to help 5 women this month, and I sell 5 women quarterly buy memberships, and they're crushing their life in PMP, my goal was met. You know, you got to set the goal that feels right to you. But I want to tell you though, that if you have a goal, you damn well, I hope you reach it, whatever that looks like. You know, and I think I can speak for Laura and Laura as well. Like, if you say, look, Kelly, I think it would be really freaking sexy to hit Success Club 10 because I would love some paid customers. Can you help me break that down and do it? Hell yeah, girl, let's make a plan. You know, just because I'm not shooting for an insane goal doesn't mean you can't, because guess what? The luxury about this business not being a pyramid scheme is you guys can be massively more successful than I am. Isn't that great? A coach that you bring on tomorrow could be the top 10, could be the #1 coach next year. Everybody can be incredible in this business. And I think for the majority of coaches, we all want to just encourage and lift each other up. It's not a competition. We all have the same mission in mind, right? So that's another fear that I want you guys to get rid of if you ever still have it, is there's too many coaches. The market is oversaturated. Bullshit. Because there are a lot of coaches, but a lot of them are just discount coaches, and a lot of them do not have the hustle and drive and belief that you guys do. There are coaches that are out there purely for rank advancement. There are coaches out there purely to reach high numbers and reach accolades, and that's great. That's great. And hopefully they're doing their customers and coaches well and still supporting them. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because your energy is going to match that, right? So if that's their game plan, after a while, people are going to see that. I think it's Laura Franklin who said she's got a couple of coaches, and I think maybe Lindsay too, who switched to one of you guys because they had like a big upline, you know, like it was like Bonnie England. Not that they didn't think she was great, but they wanted to be able to like Facebook message their coach and say, hey, can you help me like reach Emerald? You know, there's something to be said about having an intimate team. And you don't have to have a shit ton of coaches to be massively successful. You just need to have a team that believes. And you need to have a handful of leaders that you trust to lead your team, because that's going to break out, and those are going to be your star diamonds. And you know, like the thought of having people that I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. I want to still be able to like know your kids' names and know what you're doing. And like, I want us to still be so intimate that I'm very selective about who I let on this team, you know, and you guys should be too. Like, don't feel like you need to just go sign up every Susie, Jackie, or whatever, just because it looks nice in your back office. Like, guys, there's so many people to help. There's so many people that need us. And I bet you guys could go on your Facebook right now and see a handful of posts of people that you're friends with that you just want to be like, I don't know who is judging you, but stop. You know? And we can encourage people, but we have to lead by example and be the light, because it's easier said than done. It would be super, I mean, I know Lindsay was going through this a couple months ago, and it was so easy for us to say, Lindsay, unfollow her, unfriend her, like, don't let that energy in your life. And it's like, it's not that easy. I would love to, but it would create repercussions, you know? But instead of letting that eat at her, she worked on it in a different way, you know? And so that's what we're here for, guys. We're here to lift these people up and, you know, think about the heart and the hustle that you, God, why do I say that word? Oh, I just don't like it at all. Think about the heart and the passion that you have for your current fitness regimen. Think about the heart and the passion that you have for the girls on this team. Think about the heart and the passion that you have for those friends that you see that, oh, you just want to give them a virtual hug because you know that they deserve more. Share that shit. Post that stuff. Post it, and then post it over and over again. And then make sure you're doing a couple of calls to action every week. You know, put a link tree in your profile. I haven't had huge success with that, but it's a landing page for someone who's watching you to finally bite the bullet. You know, thank people for watching your stories. Interact with the people that watch your stories. You know, show them love back. That's my favorite thing to do in the evenings, is I literally am like, who am I going to be friends with today? You know, because it shouldn't feel like work. We shouldn't think about it as work. And I love when I see people continuously follow me over time, because I think about them and I think about, like, you know, are they going to be on our team next year? And, you know, I feel like I'm super lame sauce. Like, I honestly could just talk to myself forever because I think I'm personally entertaining. And I love it when someone will respond to my story, because I thank them. They won't say it to me first, but I'll be like, thanks for the love on my screen. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I watch you every day. You're so funny. And I'm just like, thank you. Thank you. I'm just sitting here stalking Panic at the Disco at 7 a.m. You guys. Oh my God, where's Brittany tonight? I never understood gamers. I have a confession. So Brendan, the lead singer, will go on his Twitch account and play games live, and I will sit there and I will watch him. I feel like I'm 16 years old again. It's a problem. It's a problem. But I love his mission so much. I'm going to say one more thing, and then I want you guys to ask questions. Someone asked him today, was he bisexual? And he said, I just love people. He said, I would consider myself straight because I'm happily married and I absolutely love my wife. But why do we have to put a label on things? Like, if I liked Lindsay, or, you know, if I liked Caitlyn Jenner, like, you know, I'm not trying to get into y'all's sexual preferences, but my point is like, why do we care? Why do we care what people do, say, look like, their political views, how they parent, how they keep their house, you know, if they want to fucking do keto, if they want to do Weight Watchers. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were sitting right there. Whatever, like, why do we care? You do you, I'll do me. But if you're confused about doing you, I can help you. Okay? Because I mean, everything's working for me. And if you wonder why I'm so happy and joyful and amazing and you can laugh on my Instagram story, it's because of Dynamic Force and Part of Me Project, and I can sign you right up. Just give me your email. I'll change your life. So, guys, you all can be, you already are amazing. You're so amazing. You're so amazing. And to wrap up, I will never stop preaching Beachbody. I will never be ashamed to say I'm a Beachbody coach, because Beachbody gave me a purpose. Even though I have 2 degrees and I'm a registered nurse, I never felt like I was a smart enough nurse. I never felt like, even though when I was a charge nurse, and even though my peers respected me, and even though, Everybody said I was so nice and a team player. I never felt smart enough. I never felt good enough. And I'm sure it had a lot to do with the fact that I failed my NCLEX the first time. I was always like, why couldn't I have passed it the first time? People were like, it doesn't matter if you passed it. And I'm like, yeah, but I failed the first time. I must not be a good enough nurse. Beachbody has given me belief in something. Like, I mean, I do a job now that pretty much anybody could do because I don't do bedside nursing anymore. But I think that is huge because I think that so many women deal with that, whether they have careers or not. They don't believe they're good enough. And regardless of what your love language is, you're constantly looking for worthiness because typically a majority of people's husbands are not the romantic type. You're not getting it from your spouse. You're pouring it out to your kids every day. All we do is give, 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 give. Beachbody allows you to give. I just had deja vu. Beachbody allows you to give and be so selfless, which is something I think that we all thrive on. I think it does fill our cups to do for others, but it also circles it back around and reminds you how important you are because Beachbody loves the hell out of us. That's why Success Club is there because they know that they're going to attract good people and you guys are going to do the work anyway. They want to celebrate you for doing it. That's why they came out with a new freaking leadership recognition program this year because they're constantly looking for ways to remind us how amazing we are. And if that's not a damn good company to work for, I don't know what it is. I mean, the fact that we get to do this and we get to call this a job and get paid for it, it's freaking phenomenal. And you guys, my husband's about to not get paid for the second time this week. He is the breadwinner for our family. And even though we are in a much better financial position than we were a few years ago, we don't have like whatever we're supposed to have saved. 6 months, I don't know. We don't have whatever we're supposed to have saved to live off of, especially in the area that we live in. Beachbody, like knowing that we have that extra income coming in weekly and not having to wait 2 weeks for my paycheck to come in, knowing that every Thursday I have enough money to buy groceries or pay our utilities, it is saving us right now. Like I don't have to use it yet because luckily we're in an okay position, but I don't know how long this is going to last. There's no end in sight right now. And I'm so grateful, whether it's $50 or $300, like Beachbody is saving us right now. And so I think I'm coming, Haley, just cut the oven off. I think sometimes we're scared to talk about the income part of it, especially if we've been in this a while, because we maybe don't have some awesome ass graphic to share where we went from making $200 a month to $4,000 a month. I'm not making $4,000 a month, but my paycheck today was like $250. And do you know how freaking exciting that was to have that land in my account for really not doing anything? But showing up on social media and encouraging people, and I got paid for that, blows my mind. Blows my mind. All right, let me look at this chat thread really quick. Do you still need my help? Hold on, please.
I wasn't trying to laugh like a maniac, just so we could clear the air. I just shared the video on my page. I'll have to go watch it. One of the local cops caught a sheep, and he a sheep. Go watch the video. I'm dying.
Where do you live again?
Somerville, South Carolina. I'm not sure why this person had a sheep. Continue. I just want y'all to think I was crazy.
Well, we already know you're crazy.
Oh, I love you.
Marley got a paycheck today. Woo-hoo!
Yeah. Will's like, hey girl, I got paid today.
Allison said I got one and I have no clue why. Don't you love a residual income? Thank you, be
Pretty sure it was like an Energize, maybe. I don't know. I happy.
Yes, thank you more, please, right?
Yeah, thank you. It's been a crappy long week. I'm like, when's payday again?
That was a nice surprise.
It was.
I
don't know how you're managing, so I'm just like praying that the government gets their shit together.
You know what? I have to give a shout out to Amanda Francis right now because earlier last year I took her money mentality course, which was the first course I paid
money for
4 figures for.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, what the hell am I doing? But I followed my intuition one day. I heard, like, I actually, before that, didn't really care for her. There was something about her voice that drove me crazy.
I feel you.
I happened to be working from home, which wasn't my norm. And I happened to catch her do a random Facebook Live at like 1 p.m. I was like, hell, I'm working. And I listened to it and I was like, I need this course. And I didn't even think about it. I signed up for the payment plan. I was like, give it to me. It was the best thing I could have done for myself. And at some point in time, I would like to do a call for you guys. But one thing about teaching people is you have to live it first. And you can't just go through a course and come back and vomit everything to you guys, because that wouldn't feel right. I've got to live it and breathe it and believe in it first. And so I wouldn't, and I actually haven't even finished the entire course. I need to start over and go through it. But what that course gave me was like money is just money. Like we put money up on this pedestal and we give it so much power. Yeah. But when you take power away from the money, like money is limitless. There's always enough. And when you believe that wholeheartedly,
no,
you don't get stressed. I'm not stressed, actually. Like me, I mean, we kind of make jokes about it. Like today, Haley was like, Mom, we're out of Q-tips. And I said, oh, I have a box under my sink. She goes, Mom, we're furloughed. I'm gonna need you to get that box out and share it with the family. So it's just like
I love it that the kids are involved. Like if I didn't have a paycheck, like we'd be like, I don't know, eating grass in the backyard.
Yeah. But it's like and I appreciate y'all's concerns. I really, really do. But it's me worrying about it isn't gonna change it.
Well, every time I complain about money, Will's like, it's just money. We can make more of it. And I'm like,
high five, Will. Because what happens when you complain about it is you're already telling yourself you're not worthy of having more. You're already in that scarcity mindset. So what's going to happen is the universe is going to meet you where you're at. They're like, okay, you don't want more. You don't believe you can have more. I'm not going to give you more.
Yeah.
And
Will's just like, just $1. We got this.
It's just $1. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it really
make another $1.
We give money too much power. We really do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did I answer your Lightroom question? Because I really don't know how to unzip your files.
No, I'm just gonna. I sort of like the one that I like 5 or 6 of them. And there's one that I'm getting acquainted with. I think I'm going to get a couple from that girl that you recommended, and I'm sure it'll probably be easier. This person just sent them through zip files.
Okay.
I think it's because there's more than one. I don't know. But, yeah, I just didn't know, since I knew that you were doing you had Lightroom and you played around on it before. I was just shot that out as a quick question because it was something I ran up against, and if somebody else had a quick answer for me, then.
I don't use Lightroom, so you just like, you buy like a filter that you like, or?
They have preset filters, and you can buy like one at a time or packages.
Can you like try them before you buy them?
I bought
Yeah,
I got a package of 5. Because the one thing I didn't like with the one that I just did was they didn't do like before and after pictures. So it was sort of hard to gauge what the filter, like I could tell what the filter was doing, but once it goes on the picture, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So out of the 5, there was one that I was vibing with. It wasn't like my initial, when I went to buy presets, this is what I was looking for. That wasn't what it was, but I was still vibing with it. So I think I'm going to buy a couple more and just download them to the Lightroom.
Or like $12.
No, mine were like $4.
Yeah, $4, $8. I mean, it's not that bad. So,
yeah.
And that's one thing, like with building the brand, like Jessica said, I've been taking like a bunch of free courses here and there. And that's one thing they're like, you know, get a filter that you vibe with and that you can commit to using.
Valencia on Instagram.
There you go. And if you love that,
right,
go for it.
Like, yeah.
And to answer Jessica's question, like, you know,
what was her question?
Jessica's question was, how do I really focus on making my brand? And I think that's a very hard topic to teach because it's going to be completely different for everybody. And I think when we take to, like, I think courses can be very valuable, but I think you have to be in a good place to take them. Because I think if you are searching for someone to literally give you a step-by-step guide on how to make a brand and you still have a lot of self-work to do, you're going to go through the course and you're going to be envious of the person that's teaching the course. And I say that from my own experience. I took a something that's sponsored, popped up on my Instagram. I think her name was Hillary or something. I totally didn't vibe with her. She's not my normal, like, but it was a free course on branding. And I was like, okay, it's free. And the whole time I'm listening, I was like, oh my God, like her pictures are beautiful. Her slideshow is gorgeous. Like I would never be able to do, like I'm immediately like just judging her presentation with how well it was put together. And I'm like, I'm not getting anything out of this because I'm not in a place where I'm even ready to brand myself. I thought that I was doing it because I felt like that was the next step. Like, well, let me get my brand together. If I get my brand together, then I'll, you know, all these people will come to me and I'll be able to reach Success Club and rank it. It was all attached to that. It was like, well, you know, Kate's branding herself and this person's branding herself. I guess I need to brand myself. Like, it's very important, but you got to do it because you fall in love with it. Like I was falling in love with editing my pictures. And so I spent like $12 and bought 5 filters and played around with them. And I was like, I really like this. This is really fun. I'm going to make sure I use this one or this one on every picture so it looks cohesive. But it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while, you know, it takes a while. And my Instagram still isn't great compared to a lot of other people, but I do have a method. Like,
but do you love it?
I love my Instagram. Like, I would totally follow me.
Like sometimes, like I want to just like post a picture like of everything that I do, and then I'm like, I don't need to do that because I'm trying to have that like cute little checkerboard pattern. So like I'm trying to share stuff that's like valuable, but also meaningful to me.
Yeah. And I love that. And as long as you're doing it because it's important for you to have, because there's something to be said about an aesthetic Instagram.
Yes.
Like,
no, my sister's like, girl, I love it. And she's not even in like any sort of fucking MLMs. Like she's just like, girl, I love Instagrams like that.
Yeah. But when you take those pictures that you want to share, put them in an album on your phone, like Instagram, because what's going to happen is 2 weeks from now, you're going to be ready to post a picture and not have anything. And because your life is beautiful and so full of stuff. Like
Laura Ogle, I know where she's at right now. And I know the picture she's posting in Priority Me is not from today. So I know she's got like an album saved of like.
Oh, I have an album. Like if I get dressed, if I actually get up, do my hair, do my makeup, whatever, and have a little bit of extra time, I'll just take cute pictures, selfies, and I'm not a selfie girl, but I'll take cute pictures and I'll just store them in my album. And then like 2-3 weeks later, I'm looking like a fucking hood rat. Excuse my French. Sorry. Sorry for the babes. But I'm looking like a hood rat sitting in my office chair, and I'm like, man, I got a message I want to share today, but I do not feel like taking no picture. I'll be like scrolling through.
Yeah.
All right, what did I take a picture of that I can use?
And that's strategy. That's having some strategy behind what we're doing, because we're all here to build a business. And we all know that we're going to stop our scroll for an aesthetically pleasing picture. But what's so beautiful about Instagram is you can have a beautiful curated page and still be a hot mess on your stories. So they get the best of both worlds. And you can say, like, I'm going to shout out Brandy again. The other day, she was like, I'm going to show you what I go through before I take a picture. She was like, I know you guys love my pictures, but I'm real. She's like, I'm going to put my phone down and I'm going to put my makeup on. And then I'm going to put this outfit on. And then I'm going to go find a corner of my house. And I'm going to move all the kids' shit. And I'm going to set up my light. She's like, that just took me 40 minutes to take a picture. And here it is. Here's the filter. Here it is on my page. Let me go put my joggers back on. Like, she's like, but there's nothing wrong. I love a good picture.
We talked about that in our Insanity Max group today.
I love a good picture.
Or I did. Will snapped a photo of me, not very lovingly. And, like, he loved it, but I thought I looked, like, horrible. And I'm like, you cannot have a photo like that unless I'm, like, posed with, like, correct lighting.
Yeah.
No. Delete that from the cloud.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you don't love yourself. Like, we all love ourselves, but God, do not catch me at that angle, please.
Yeah.
I need some sunlight. Stop.
Something, please, sir.
And you know what? I hate these wrinkles on my forehead. And every now and again, I will pop a photo in Facetune and I will smooth them out before I post the picture. And Haley's always like, why are you editing your face? I was like, you know what?
It stresses me out, too.
I don't
like, even when I'm not doing anything.
I do it with my eye bags. There's like a dark circle feature that will take a little bit of this out. And I'm like, because if I don't, then I personally will pick my picture apart. And it's not that I don't think I'm beautiful. Huh?
So what did you tell me today? That your husband likes you like what you
exactly.
look like?
And like I said, it's not that I don't think I'm beautiful or anything like that, but if I could say there's one thing that drives me crazy about my body, it would genuinely be the bags under my eyes. And if slapping a little bit of a filter on that before I post it on social media or print it off to hang up in my wall, that's okay. There's people who go and pay like $4,000 each eye to have the shit sucked out. I'm not doing that, at least yet.
Wow.
Maybe when you girl. No, I get you.
So let me stop this recording. So